Please welcome Deanna.
Good morning to everyone. Greetings to trustees, President Williams, Provost Misakian, honored guests, deans, faculty, staff, family members and friends, and my fellow graduates. I want to especially thank Shona Kitchen, our digital media department head, to digital media cohort, to Stephen Cook, Katya Solotowski, and to Dave, CIT custodian. Thank you to my classmates, Anne, Carly, Jinha, Yukyun, Julia, and Rikar. A special thanks to David Milston and Saul Brown for supporting me along the way. To my friends, Mariana, Andrea, Santrupti, Sara, and George, thank you. You are forever my family. To my fellow graduates and to the Colombian graduates, we did it. I am honored to have the opportunity to speak to you today. When I was learning how to write scripts with the FBA professor, Marina Schron, I was really struggling to articulate a story about how to liquefy dreams and the impossibility to trap them. I was struggling to put my words into images for the camera to set up an encounter between two characters which changed them forever. We were having that conversation when she told me, we don't know who we are until we meet others. My time at RISD and in a foreign country has taught me, you never fully know who you are as long as you keep getting to know other people. I'm here today to talk about voices and dreams. We all come from countries in which it is in some way dangerous to raise your voice, and still people dare to dream. The ability of your mind to dream means that you are still unfinished, and there are still others to get to know. It means that there are parts of your mind that you don't know yet, so there is mystery. And then we have genetic engineering, ChatGPT, and algorithms. And yet, there is still mystery about why we dream and love and create as a form of resistance. Just a couple of ways to trick the algorithm. Imagine what could happen if we fed and programmed computers only with poetry in all languages, not only English. As poetry is not an adornment nor an embellishment, but a way to bring back strangeness and amazement into the world and make the language new every time. Poetry, as well as art and technology, is what allows us to contemplate what language is, and most of all, what language can be. Maybe we could have other types of technology that retain the mystery of what we have not yet met, and invite other stories and voices to the artifacts and tools that permeate all our days on Earth. Who made them, and whose voice is left out? Computers compute with human words they haven't felt yet. Words, once human, now flow through impossible quick rivers, human hands, human eyes. So today, I would like to propose language as the most important technology we need to pay attention to. What language is, and what language can be, what it can impose on us or heal in us, whether language still belongs to us and what that could mean. So let's speak about algorithms without being too boring. I have spent the last months tricking an artificial intelligence software into thinking it is recording me, a human voice. In reality, I have been reproducing the recording of the last bird of its species, an extinct bird song that was meant for a duet, impossible now. The software has been allowing me to repair and recreate the response for the bird, but it's only an illusion. But in doing so, I have been lending my voice to it and thinking about this phrase: lend your voice, trick the algorithm. Allow others to speak, lend your voice, give other access. We need choirs, not just solos. We need to ask ourselves why, as a society, we are obsessed with the future of the world, and how we can recover things that are gone while taking for granted the present and what we still have. Design future, speculative futures, probable, possible, desirable. The future, almost as an institution not all have access to, is one topic that has been brought back constantly in the public conversation. However, the idea of designing futures suggests that neither the past nor the present are desirable. Only the future, that unknown desired land we are hoping to arrive at. So, while we think about the role of art and design in the framing of the future, let's think about the intangibles, systems, values, emotions, as much as the tangibles. Every notion of the future, or let's say the futures, has been designed, whether intentionally or not, with values, ethics, and societal implications. Oftentimes, the communities that are supposed to be impacted by these visions of the future are not invited to tell what they think about it. Intangibles don't make it to the museums, but they are designed, and are those intangibles the ones that shape societies and affect people's life for generations. While I was writing this speech, I wrote a phrase about inviting you to think together how to care, how to create not only sustainability, but sustainment, or the continuing enactment to sustain something over time. That overall constituted an invitation to create community. But I don't think we need that invitation. We strongly demonstrated that we all are already an established and caring community that shows up when it matters, that supports equity and justice, sustaining and mending this very social fabric that we are. So I will go ahead and use textile metaphors to continue weaving these words. While at the Adaptive Futures class with Dr. Katia Solotowski, a space that brings together designers and science to propose conversations about wicked problems, I had the luck to meet my friends Julie Louise Seiton and Latika Baleshander, with whom we were discussing the potential of human hair being a sustainable material. While framing the story for this research and how it constituted an intimate approach to sustainability, Julie said, you could meet a woman from 10,000 years ago, and she would have nothing in common with you, but she will understand what it means to braid your sister's hair. The image of braiding each other's hair appeared to me as the way we create knowledge, carefully putting together threads that are not supposed to, but somehow they do. A choir, not a solo. I wonder how ambition in the present is really about a conversation of a past future in which we are walking towards the version of us we don't know yet, while being good ancestors at the same time. We need duets, not just solos. You are graduating today from one of the most renowned art and design schools in the world. That means someone was left out. And if so, to whom can you lend your voice today? To whom are you going to give access and include through your practice, your ideas, your labor? Invite them. The only reason I'm here is because someone gave me access. I was in Bogota, my hometown, on a rainy day, that is basically every day in Bogota, when I received an email from my department head, Shona Kitchen, with these words only: "I have good news, can I call you?" Terrible at the phone as I am, I took the courage to take the call right away. I was awarded the Society of Presidential Fellowship, and I was in awe after many financial challenges to finally land here. Shona left the formalities aside, as she is, and told me up front, "So are you coming or not?" We both laughed, and that defined my relationship with the woman that has taught me so much about coming undone and uncertain, and that has invited me to dig deeper and to be vulnerable. We don't know who we are until we meet others. When we are vulnerable is when we can meet others. So what needs to be recreated, redesigned to be able to meet others? Is it the healthcare system? Is it how people have access to transportation? Is it how drones find flowers we thought extinct? Is language, in the words of my classmate Bridget DeFranco, the way to bring back subjecthood to the things we examine? Raise debate and question why. Why is bridge making? Why is caring? Let's ask ourselves always, what are we caring about? What other voices we can let in? As this institution welcomes a high number of international students, as I am, I want to speak to people that feel like they are on their own. And sometimes they are. But not only immigrants. We live in a world in which there is an app and a technology to substitute every human connection and togetherness through a subscription plan. Gathering our data right up in the sky, perhaps in the cloud, that physical place in which we store files and call them memories. Our new heaven, but one in which things don't have a body and a soul, and you need a password to access it. It seems we are in the decline of friendship. So today, I strongly want to invite you to create an effort in your friend circle, in your cohort, in your family, so no one feels like they are on their own. One of the key things the feminist perspective of care has taught me is that every existence and every thinking and knowing is relational. Nothing comes without its world. And today, we are not carrying only ours, but the words and views and hopes of every person we had the chance to talk to share our hope with, our deadlines, while co-sleeping with a coffee machine. Today, we are living with knowledge and experiences that were rooted in conversations, in listening to one another, and in doing so, listening to ourselves. But those conversations were not always mediated by words. They were oftentimes silent, produced by the movement of our making hands and bodies. RISD is sometimes a silent choreography. One of the things that changed me while at this school was the outstanding importance of hands here. I think working with our hands is the true political, poetic, and creative resistance. While automation tries to replace precious and meaningful things, while we hope it was helping laborers or doing our taxes instead so we can make more art, we work with our hands. Hands that write and sign letters, hands that work, hands that polish wood, hands that play with fire and bread, primitive and reliable mediums, in the words of my friend, the glass artist Ariel Arabot. Hands needed to connect circuitry that we yell at in digital media and make us wish, however briefly, we will be working with something else. Hands that weave and warp, hands that make public statements, covering walls, showing up for each other. Hands that touch faces, touch, one of the things that AI can't replace, the ultimate tenderness. I think it is very miraculous to find a place that gathers so many people that care about imagination, social fabric, and creativity. The fact that in a single space there are so many who dream and disobey. Dreaming as a way of enacting other worlds and making them accessible to others. To dream is to disobey. In the RISD Commencement discourse of 1986, Maya Angelou said something that has stuck in my mind for some time. Is it likely that my future holds such promise? I said, is it likely that our futures together hold such promise? And to turn this Angelou solo into a duet, as Mary Oliver said, tell me, RISD class of 2023, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Go find your choir. Thank you.